Hello, everybody. This is Coach Miller, and this is Missed Calls with Coach Miller. And this episode is brought to you by Home by SMCI. If you haven't figured it out right now, it's a little hot outside. And guess what? Having an air conditioning unit that works and serviced and ready to go is extremely important, not only for your health, but your family's health. And just to make sure that you are enjoying your life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. We just got done celebrating the 4th of July. So make sure that you are doing that, and your air conditioning unit is operating at peak efficiency. Give them a call today at 636-337-4444. They will come out and make sure the thing is serviced, ready to go, taken care of, and you can enjoy the rest of your summer. So give them a call today. They offer a wide variety of services. So give Home by SMCI a call today and let them take care of you and your family. They treat you like family because that's why it's called Home by SMCI. So I hope everybody here had a great 4th of July holiday with all the fireworks that you possibly could consume and shoot off and everything else. There were some fireworks that were, I guess, expected to explode over the holiday weekend with the 12-time All-Star Kevin Durant. And kind of like a bad firework with a dud fuse, nothing really happened with Kevin Durant over the weekend. And if in case you're living under a rock, it came out about the middle of last week that Kevin Durant was requesting a trade from the Brooklyn Nets. Now, Kevin Durant had signed an extension with the Brooklyn Nets. I'm not at all surprised. Between him and his former teammate James Harden, it just seems like this is kind of par for the course for a superstar to sign a big deal at a place and then want to get traded somewhere else. And Kevin Durant wanted to be traded from Golden State. He got that wish. They traded him to the Nets, where he and eventually Kevin Durant or James Harden and Kyrie Irving, they're all getting together and forming a super team. Now, Kevin Durant is wanting out of Brooklyn. Why? I guess because they just couldn't win. Maybe he doesn't like the way the teams ran. Maybe he has bigger ideas. Maybe he feels like he could be a better general manager himself. Maybe he feels like, I don't like paying the income tax. I'm really getting tired of watching people like Kevin Durant request a trade after you just signed an extension to stay in a place. What sense does that make? Why? You've only been there for 2 years. Technically 3, but you were hurt for an entire season. He misses an entire season. But the 12-time All-Star decides that he wants to go somewhere else and get a ring with LeBron, or go with Chris Paul in Phoenix, or wherever he wants to go, or Miami, and play with Jimmy Butler. There's only one thing here. There's only one thing he needs to understand. There's only one basketball. And Kevin Durant proved that when he was with Golden State that he needed the ball. Now, they were very successful with him. They won 2 championships in 3 years that he played there. But they had to alter the way that they played the game to fit Kevin Durant in, to make sure that he was able to be a contributor. And having a guy like Kevin Durant, it goes without saying how important it is to have a guy who can get you a bucket. And Kevin Durant can get you a bucket. A guy who's 7 foot tall, however you want to measure it, 6'10", 6'11", 7 foot tall, has an enormous wingspan, can play inside and shoot the 3 from deep. He's almost unguardable. The problem is, though, he has to have the ball a lot. And that's why it didn't work in Brooklyn with the guys he was playing with. The ability to defer the ball to other superstars is one of the most important traits that goes without being measured or talked about like it should. Now, we all know that guys get together and superstars get together and they form these super teams. And sometimes it just doesn't work. But here's the problem, though. This is not Kevin Durant's first time trying this. He's going for it again. And I'm not really on the understanding of why. Why not just stick it out? Why not trying to make things work? Because he's, 34 years old and time is short? Maybe. But the thing is, that's what you signed up for. You signed an extension. You have 4 years left on your deal, and now you want out. And now some teams got to find a way to make it work, trade away their future, because they don't get the Larry Bird exemption for re-signing you like Brooklyn did, which means that you can go over the salary cap to re-sign somebody who plays for you. No, they have to go and trade away exact pieces to match the salary. By the way, Kevin Durant was making $40 million this year alone. $40 million. Yes, max contract money. So someone has to mortgage their future, probably give up a bunch of draft picks, match salary in order to bring Kevin Durant in. So if Kevin Durant plays with a couple of guys who are, let's say, superstars, 2 or 3 max contracts, whatever, especially one other max contract, and now you're going to fill him with a bunch of league minimum scrub-a-dubs and a mid-level exception player, and that's supposed to work. Wrong. Get real. To me, it's annoying as hell to see a superstar like Kevin Durant pull this. You've already won a couple of rings in Golden State, and realistically, if it wasn't for the other 3 guys that were playing there who were able to defer the ball to him, that wouldn't have happened. And his legacy would be one where almost got there and didn't win it, would have been his thing. Would have been one of the best players of all time in NBA history to never have won a championship ring. Because, let's face it, he might be able to score. Great. A lot of guys can score the ball when they shoot it a lot. But he couldn't play defense like LeBron. He couldn't play defense like Draymond. He couldn't play defense and be a more complete player like some of these other guys. Not only that, his game is not focused around sharing the ball. Golden State has a unique offense where some of your best players have to be your best passers, your best screeners, and they move the ball. They're very efficient doing that, and they make the defense move. Kevin Durant wants the ball in his hands, and let's go ISO. So everybody stand on one side of the court. I'm going to dribble it 3 or 4 times. I'm going to try to pull up and make a shot. Now, that's all great when you need a bucket. When you need a bucket, that's cool. That's great. But Kevin Durant has had a hard time playing on teams that don't play more of that style and play more ball sharing, ball movement, continuity style, or running sets. As long as the sets are for Kevin Durant, it's all good. He's not the guy who wants to be the decoy. He wants to be the man. And I don't know if he's going to get on some fake social media accounts and put it out there to people so that way they understand that and keep people from trolling him. But I'm going to tell you right now, I think it's flat out ridiculous. It's just absolutely ridiculous. You signed the deal to be there. You just signed an extension in August of last year. Not even a year. You signed an extension. You have 4 years left on your deal, and you're already one out of town. Are you kidding me? Why? Because they're not winning? You're the seventh seed in the East. You hadn't had your whole team together, and everybody's wanting out of town. To me, it looks more like guys don't really want to play with Kevin Durant. Now, in theory, it sounds great. And if I'm a guy who passes the ball, maybe like Chris Paul. Chris Paul's, he's a scorer, but he's not a guy who's got to have 25 points a game to be effective. Chris Paul, 20 assists a game. I'm great. He's one of the best point guards in NBA history who's never won. So let me get this straight. You want to go play on a team that has other superstars. You already tried that. And if you're not playing with guys who are able to defer, you're in trouble. So he better hope and pray that Phoenix comes through with this trade. But from a standpoint of a fan, from a guy who's watched a lot of basketball in the NBA as it's transitioned from the way it was when I'm growing up all the way to where it is today, Kevin Durant's a phenomenal basketball player. He's one of the greatest of all time. He's on the NBA 75th anniversary team, and he should be. Absolutely, hands down. He'll go down as one of the most prolific scorers in NBA history. But I don't know if he's one of the greatest players when we're talking about Mount Rushmore of players. LeBron is 100 times better than him. Hands down, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. LeBron can change an NBA team just by himself being there because he affects more than just the scoring outcome. And Kevin Durant is only effective in the scoring outcome. He isn't going to affect the defense. He isn't going to affect ball movement. He isn't going to affect chemistry in a positive way. It's obvious that that's not the case because his game demands him having the ball more than anyone else. And not only just having it, but shooting it. He's a 7-foot tall Allen Iverson. Sorry. You can say what you want. But he has to have the ball, and he has to be the guy who's shooting it. He wants to be the guy. Problem is, I really don't know if he's the guy. And for all these NBA teams who are swooning for him and trying to make trades and make moves for him right now, I think that's one you can let go, and let Kevin Durant finish out his sentence in Brooklyn. If he thinks it's that bad and it's a prison, great, stay there, bud. Because I don't know if you really want that kind of kid on your team, the guy on your team, when there's all kinds of other kids who they might not match the Kevin Durant talent-wise, but they can get you more in the areas that Kevin Durant isn't good at. And I think that's a big missed call that we are missing today. I appreciate you guys joining me for another episode of Missed Calls. Don't forget to tune into the Coach's Box. It's actually going to be on Wednesday, which is tomorrow. And we're hoping to be at 8 p.m. Now, if we move it up to 7, we'll let you guys know. But the Coach's Box will be live from La Pachanga tomorrow night. Don't forget to tune in. We'll see you guys there. And I will see you guys next week for another episode of Missed Calls. Thank you guys again for tuning in.